Pioneer Sideline. I'm your host, Aaron Cooney. Episode 126 coming at you here, and we talked about the soccer. Now it's on. Move on to volleyball. As you know, right now, kings of the court here in the AMC for the women's volleyball team, with a record of 28-4. Had two matches over the weekend in their Volley for Vision tournament. Take a look Saturday afternoon, taking on Damon. Point Park was able to pull out just another win in the AMC, move on to 6-1. And that AMC record. Straight sets for the Pioneers, 25-9. A huge run there in that first set from Taylor Roddy and serving. Pioneers just able to run away with that first set. Second set, 25-20, 25-19 for the Pioneers. And then later on in the day, taking on Roberts Wesleyan in that tri-match there of the Volley for Vision tournament. Point Park gets another win, 3-0. Takes sets, 25-21, 25-21. And then another great run there from Taylor Roddy to bring Point Park back as they were down 23-19, end up taking the set 26-24. Pioneers 28-4 overall, 7-1 in the AMC, and top of the standings we're going to bring in volleyball analyst Teresa Davis. And Teresa, you take a look at that first game, and really what you see there is players stepping in and also the defense holding the Damon hitters to a .069 hitting percentage. Just incredible.
Exactly. You know, our blocks, we're #1 in the NAIA for blocking, and like you said, was .069% is phenomenal, and that just keeps the Pioneers, giving them the chance to score again.
And Roberts game, following up at 4 o'clock. Pioneers with the other win. Defense again holding Roberts to .175, and huge game, or huge day really for Brittany Lota. First match she finished with 15 kills and 4 blocks. Second match, 13 kills for Lota. And, you know, she's really developed as a great player for the Point Park with the transfer from Pitt.
Right. As a sophomore, she moved from the outside hitting position, or the middle hitting position, excuse me, to the outside hitter. And she really stepped in that role and stepped up. And you saw no setback. Her hitting percentage went up, and she was 15 of 27 attempts. So her hitting percentage was 55%. That's a great conversion rate.
They have huge numbers to get on the right side to match up with Lindsay Obrecht, just a 1-2 punch there on the two outsides for Point Park. And as you mentioned, Lota stepping in as a transfer from Pitt and making an impact known as a sophomore. And take a look at the AMC standings, and there's really only one team behind Point Park, and that would be the Damon Wildcats. And after, as we mentioned all show, really Walsh not eligible for the postseason, but Damon right behind them, Point Park at 4-3, Roberts at 3-1, or 3-4, and Houghton 1-4, Carlo 0-7. So Damon, there is a chance that they could come back in and challenge Point Park, but in the AMC schedule remaining for Point Park, they're at Carlo and then again at home against Houghton, but for Damon, at Houghton, at Roberts versus Walsh. So they have 3 important matchups. But Damon, if they can get some wins there, Point Park, falls up to one or two of these games, Damon could stoop or slide in there and steal the top spot.
Right. I think the momentum is still with the Pioneers. Damon will give them some trouble. They gave them a trouble in the second set, where they won 25-20, but still they didn't make double digits in the next 2 sets. So I think the momentum is still with the Pioneers. If we get past Carlo and Roberts, they're in the clear.
13 straight matches won for Point Park, and you mentioned the conversion rate for Brittany Lota, and you take a look at Point Park, their hitting percentage 27%, 14th in the NAIA, and a lot of it contributes to their defense as well, playing very solid. And then also some of these players stepping up. One name that I brought up in the earlier on in this block was Taylor Roddy. Phenomenal doing some service there for the Pioneers. And then there's a few other sophomores and freshmen that have really, these underclassmen, stepped in for the Pioneers that are making a name for themselves.
I know we have Keaton Sossman, who is an outside hitter freshman. We haven't seen much of her lately, but she's able to come in and contribute. So she's definitely an asset to this team. We've also had Amanda Ardinger, and she is a junior, but she also had 12 digs, and Margaret Galui, who had 13. So, I mean, our defense is a huge asset to this group as a whole, and if you keep the ball, like, on our side, then we have more chances to score.
Exactly, and it starts with serving. Mentioned Taylor Roddy, and then I want to bring up another player, Chelsea Kakic, who had some good games towards the end of the season, or good matches to the end of the season last year, and has really picked up her play and continued it this year. And really, you see a 1-2 punch coming from her and Obracker on that left side.
Absolutely. Chelsea Kakic had 8 kills versus Roberts, and she also had 6 blocks. She's phenomenal playing, and she's definitely picking up the slack that others may not be producing that day. So she's definitely bringing her A game.
Teresa Davis, thank you as always for the great insight there, bringing the stats every week. We're going to step away for a real quick second, one more time, last break, and we're going to come back with the Courthouse Tavern Case of the Week with Kevin Calhoun and Matt Desmond talking a little World Series, who you got, Texas or St. Louis. Stick around and find out who.